So in this video, this is Thomas. This video we will be discussing social media. I could ask whether you think it's a taboo, but I don't think it's considered a taboo. But I chose to.
I don't think it's a taboo either.
Yeah, I chose to still discuss it in this cast project of supposed taboos because I think it's an interesting topic that like I think you can discuss a lot about it, about why it's good or bad. So, do you think there should be an age restriction for social media?
For certain apps, yeah. I mean, the always one you could say like Tinder. It's a dating website. You don't exactly want 12-year-olds running around on that. Let's just end it there. It's not a good idea. I think it's, I like to say that there shouldn't be an age limit sometimes, just because of the fact that I think it's much more up to the parent to decide, if their kid is mature enough to handle social media, because you do come across, let's say, content that is somewhat explicit, whether it be pornographic or just very kind of upfront, kind of shocking material that you might, experience. So it's not, let's say, like the age thing. I mean, age does reflect a certain sense of maturity, but at the same time, I do think you guys need to have kids learn how to manage it and how to utilize it, and not, be taken over by it in that sense. They just need to learn how to get on with it appropriately and respectively.
Okay. So you
respectively, respectfully, yes. Crap.
So you don't think there should be an age restriction,
No, but it could help. But I think it's much more up to the parents' responsibility to make sure that their kid is, again, mature enough to use social media. Otherwise, I think there's a lot of good things that you can use with social media, whether it be personal branding, education as well, like YouTube. It's a social media platform that, honestly, I've learned more from in certain areas than school could ever teach me. So it opens you up to a whole new platform for learning, definitely, but at the same time, it opens you up to a whole new platform of just, crap. But yeah.
But what do you think about, the fact that, 8-year-olds or something are, addicted to social media?
Maybe, anything under the age of 10, you shouldn't need social media. I mean, play outside.
Yeah.
Play with some Lego. Why are you on social media for? No one cares about your life when you're 8 years old. Let's be honest. No one cares about oh my gosh, in the playground with Ben. Yeah. Okay, that's a bit harsh, but there's no need for a kid to be, let's say, 8 years old on Instagram or Facebook. YouTube is different, because each social media platform has its own unique characteristics, its unique weaknesses, strengths. YouTube is much more. It's a very open learning space as well as a entertainment space as well. Instagram, there's not much learning going on through there.
But a lot of people are addicted to Instagram.
Yeah, because it's very instant gratification. That's the way it's built.
But that's what young people have that as well, 10-year-old person.
Yeah, so that's a negative side of it, where I'm saying maybe there should be an age limit, because I'm on the fence with it, because there's so many good things you can use with it.
Yeah.
So for most kids there should be an age requirement. But of course there are going to be exceptions, in terms of maturity and how they can get along with it. And if they can get along with it, the whole age requirement is a simple guideline. It shouldn't be concrete. This is the rule. This is the law. A simple guideline, hey, you're way too young.
You should be
because you're probably just play outside, man. Geez, it's way more fun sometimes than scrolling through and liking other people's pictures who you will barely ever talk to in the future. That's the way I see it. So.
Yeah. I heard someone say the other day that some doctors or something.
I was gonna fall for a second. No, it's all good. Don't worry.
That some doctors or something were prescribing play to kids, that they weren't
Yeah, play is such an important part. Of just being a kid. It's not even being old school. Oh, they need to play outside. No, there's a little psychological element to play.
Yeah.
That if kids don't play, they become socially awkward as hell if they don't learn how to play properly.
Yeah, and you learn so much through playing as well, through trial and
you build teamwork, you work with being collaborative and respectful with other kids, because if you cannot deal with another kid properly on the playground, how the hell are you going to deal with other people in, say, a workspace or in a classroom, if they're doing something you don't like? It's just
Yeah.
there's simple little life lessons in play
Yeah.
that are ingrained in society that you cannot remove. And if you suck at that, which some kids do, just because of the fact that they're shoved, a mobile phone is shoved in their face, then yeah, those are the negative side effects. You
Yeah.
create socially awkward kids who cannot handle anything.
Yeah. But do you think that social media has an effect on your mental health?
Yeah, definitely. For those for people who do not have proper control over it, or like self. That's what I was talking about.
I don't know.
No, but no, definitely. For the most part, if you do not set the expectations or the standards for yourself, like, okay, this is how much time I'm going to spend on social media. If you're not even aware or you're at that level, social media is probably having a negative effect on you, most likely. Because most likely you're tied to things like instant gratification, which social media does a beautiful job of doing in a bad way, but it does it like effectively.
Yeah.
I mean, your quick dopamine spikes come up when you're liking photos and you get likes on your photos. You start, a lot of guys and girls go through like depression just because of the fact that they're addicted to this platform.
And then they just start like comparing themselves.
Yeah, and they're wasting time. Like, honestly, you think about it, would you rather be spending time doing something you actually like doing, with like hanging out with friends, or maybe working on yourself a little bit, or doing something else that's actually worthwhile versus spending hours on social media liking pictures?
But some people are like so addicted that they can barely I don't know. I feel like some people are.
It's bad because like even let's say with friends, like you're at a dinner table, like you're eating out, like I personally turn my phone off if I'm eating out, or if I want to show them something that's cool, but otherwise I generally have it turned off. I don't like sitting at a table with other people. Like I'm in it. Like if I wanted to, talk with other people, I'd go with them. Like if I'm at a dinner table with someone else, like my time is spent with that person. I want to focus on that person. I don't want to be pulled up in another direction. And I think people don't understand the respect part of that, or like the real value behind that. So there are like those things are kind of all like intertwined in the whole mental health issue.
And you think that if people learn like to set limits and that those will be solved?
Yeah, to a certain extent, because it's just about being self-aware. Because at the same time, like, if you are aware of also like your why in terms of, let's say, what do you want to do, just with yourself. It doesn't have to be like with your whole life situation, like, oh, you want to be this, have this career, but even like, what do you want to do with yourself right now? I mean, you have limited time. Why are you focusing on other stuff? Like, sure, it's a leisure activity, but it should be kept as that. Yeah. Instead of people constantly being on it. Yeah. Because that's not your life. Your life is here in this world. It's not on a device. I mean, the thing is, that's where people live for most of the part right now.
It's scary how much people. How much people? It's scary how much time people spend on social media.
Yeah, like I dropped from about, so it was like 4 hours on average per day, now to about 1.5, just on my phone in general, and about 20 minutes of that's on social media. Whereas people are hours on Instagram per week, hours, and that's kind of scary to think about, because like.
Yeah, like
Because it's the same people who are also like, they'll complain about their life, they'll say, oh, I'm very ambitious, I got these and these goals, and then complain when they don't achieve them. It's like, buddy, you're wasting time on a platform which doesn't give you anything. Unless, of course, like you are a social media influencer and that's how you get money, fair enough. But for most people, it's like, focus on stuff that actually get you ahead, and on things you actually like doing. Like, yeah, it's fun having a Snapchat group or whatever to send memes and stuff through, but at the same time, like, why not just also like hang out with your friends and have dinner, like a cup of coffee, like go to the movies, like that's much more fun than just sending memes to each other through Instagram. At least that's my opinion on it. But yeah, people also like end up just lying to themselves, because it's like on social media you can paint, you choose what you get to show, or you choose what you want to show. So if you're, let's say, you could be suffering through depression or anything like that, or anxiety, severe kind of life situations, and then you can like paint yourself up as this happy-go-lucky person who just has everything coming to them and is living an awesome life, but on the inside you have serious problems that you need to work on. And I think through social media you kind of get to like live in that cardboard box where you don't have to face any of that, and you can pretend like everything's all dandy, when in reality you got something serious that you need to take control of and manage. If people need to understand like how the internet kind of works and how a search function works, literally anything that's on there that's public can be searched. Even the things that aren't public, you can go on the deep web and you'll find all the unindexed data and pictures. I mean, there's a website on the dark web called the Pink Meth, and that basically has naked photos. It's like revenge porn for like ex-boyfriends and stuff. To like basically like they'll have a female's naked pictures or nudes on there, as well as like their address, phone numbers, Facebooks. That's all on the dark web though. So most people don't know about that, but that is like, if you're carelessly sending, let's say, as a teenager, or even younger, prepubescent, sending nudes like that through social media, without having any idea what you're really doing, your photos can end up on a site like that for predators to access.
Yeah, that's scary. People need to be more aware.
Yeah, they need to just be more aware of the consequences. And also, like, let's say for job opportunities, like, fair enough, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you don't have to care that much. But if you're going to be employed, what you say on your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, all matters, especially on Twitter, because that's very easy to access your tweets. So if you're espousing, let's say, racist comments, you probably won't get the job, because they already see the character underneath. Because in that sense, social media is a good filter immediately for people to see what kind of person you really are. It's like, in subcontext. In terms of, let's say, if you're spouting negative comments and you picture yourself out to be such like a nice person in real life, social media reveals a certain sense of like who you truly are in that sense.
Yeah, but then also really not.
Yeah, on the flip side, it doesn't, because like I said before, you can make yourself up look to be like really like happy and everything, but secretly you're depressed. So it goes both ways, but at the same time, like that's why companies use social media as a kind of filter for job applications, just so they really find out who the hell you are.
Yeah, there was this thing, I think Kevin Hart, did you hear the thing about Kevin Hart? That he was asked, he was on the Ellen Show, I think.
Oh yeah, it was like ages ago, he sent a tweet or a text or something.
Yeah, there was like a tweet that was kind of racist or something, and then recently he was asked to host the Oscars.
Yeah, and then they didn't want to like host him anymore or something like that.
Because of that.
So like a situation like that, I mean, it depends also like the context of it as well, because like some people, of course,
people can change.
Yeah, people can change certainly. So like let's say in a certain time period, but also like the frame of what is being said. Like a lot of people like, I'm all for like very offensive humor, for morbidly offensive humor, just because like I feel like everything needs to be talked about, and I think if you're being offended over the tiniest thing, I mean, you're wasting your time. But of course, you draw a line. Let's say at hate speech, where you're spouting, you want violence against a certain race or culture or religion or whatever. But if it was just like a racial comment, made in the light of things, trying to joke about it, which I believe is fine. But at the same time, you also got to be aware of the consequence that really does have.
Oh yeah.
Because the same thing was
he was posting it was a comment something like against gays, I think.
Probably something like that. I bet.
Something against gays.
I believe that you should be able to like just speak freely in terms of if you actually are making it like if you're a comedian making like a borderline offensive joke for some people, fair enough. But let's say you do need to be aware of the real life consequence, because like this doesn't really matter whether you're right or wrong, or whether you deserve the punishment in terms of the criticism. You're still looking to get hired by another company or by an employer. So it matters on their perspective as well. If you want to be hired by them, if you're like your dream company is X and their employer is Y and they don't agree with what you said, like you're not getting the job. So just be careful. You might as well just play it safe, unless it really doesn't matter to you. So just take that into account. I think it would be a smart idea, like just get that pop-up box and be like, hey buddy, read through this again. There's this and these words in it. If you have that option out there, that would be smart. Just to avoid any... Yeah, because people are so impulsive with social media. Like, you wouldn't, go up to that person across the street and say, all these comments to their face, but you'd happily do it over a keyboard in an instant, because you don't have to confront them. So...
You don't have to face the consequences, or... And
it just, because it just eliminates that barrier of thinking twice about your actions. And if you have that kind of barrier up again on social media, I think it's a smart idea. I think it could help a lot of people. That's definitely a solution.
Okay, well, thank you for joining me today on
No worries.
discussing this topic.
You're welcome.